Rafia. Hi, Kurat. Am I audible to you?
Hi Ayushi, glad to connect. Hi Kurat, Assalamu alaikum. I think you're on mute, Kurat. We can't hear you.
Am I audible?
Yeah,
Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely. Welcome you both on board. Thank you for joining us.
you're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Ayushi. Thanks for having us on board.
It's totally my pleasure. I am so thrilled to have you both. And this is our first chapter of digital transformation. And thank you for uh, making time for us. And first of all, wish you both a very happy Ramzan or Hari Raya, whatever you
Thank,
call.
thank you.
So it's our honor to have you
Thank you.
on our platform on this festive day. So let me start with a little bit of introduction here. Just want to check if I'm loud and clear. The video is good. We didn't had a chance to did a quick check.
Probably you can tell Ayushi because am I clearly audible and visible to you?
Yes, absolutely,
Clear? Is
you
it
are.
clear? Do you think like when we stream over LinkedIn, will can we maintain the same, or do I need to check anything from my side? Please let me know. I'll try to do that.
Uh, no, I don't think so. We are already checking on the back end and
Okay.
everything looks good. Although there is a 10-second lag, which is defined, technical
Oh,
constraint that they have. So
okay.
nothing to worry. Let me start. So, hello everyone. I'm glad whosoever has joined. If not, I'm sure you'll be watching the video recording. And I'm Ayushi. I am a digital transformation enthusiast, you can say, and I help SMEs uh, build up their companies and systems in such a way that is most optimal to their customers and smooth in running. I have many queries from my clients and customers who said that they have certain problems and they are getting very much overwhelmed with all the AI stuff, automation stuff, and they're not able to understand how to tackle these things. So today we have very special guests with us, Ms. Rafiya Sultana and our beautiful lady Qural-Ul-Ain. And apologies if I don't pronounce it correctly. So all the way from Pakistan and Singapore, and they will be helping us in understanding certain aspects. So starting with our first speaker, Rafiya Sultana. She is the leadership coach. She has 8 years of experience in change management and transformation. She's an advocate for women leadership, performance, excellence, and mental fitness. Also, I was thrilled to know that she is the creator of 3 C's mindset: clarity, confidence, and courage. So, my dear friends, my dear SME owners, you are going to thank me later because this is the first step of decision making, and she is going to help us with certain questions and making the right decision for us. So I really wholeheartedly welcome Rafia on our platform.
Thank you, Ayushi. Thanks for your grand welcome. I'm overwhelmed at the same time, happy to join here. And I'm looking forward to what unfolds.
Thank you
And
very much.
congratulations for on your first chapter of STRENURE. So did I pronounce it right? Yeah. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
STRENURE.
absolutely,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So and congratulations for a new venture and congratulations for the first chapter of STRENURE.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let me give it the introduction of our second guest. Well, they are beyond certain line of definition or introduction, but still, what I got from my little research is Qurat-Ul-Ain is a founder of Ain Consulting Private Limited. She is a business consultant, entrepreneur, and investor. She is an expert in startups, SMEs, financial and tax inclusion, certified director and auditor with expertise in governance and accountability. So these all are her merits, her stars. So apart from that, if I miss something, I'll be honored to know more, Kurat.
Thank you so much for having me today. And I guess this is quite a lot and enough and I'm glad to joining you both. And first of all, congratulations from my side as well. I was doing some research over you, and I got to know that we are with a world famous author, and you are yourself a trailblazer, and that is such a nice thing to know. And Rafa is also such a good leadership. So looking forward to go move forward.
Thank you very much. So, dear audience and my dear speakers, just to let you know that these questions which we are going to shoot up today is the kind of survey, you can say, or feedback from certain clients. So it's a real world experience from our customers. They are facing a lot of difficulties in decision making. So we are going to ask 5 questions to each of our speakers according to their industry expertise, and definitely these answers are going to help our audience get the correct solution and help in decision making. So let me start with the first question, and my first question is to Rafia. So, one of our SME owners said that how can SMEs cut through the noise and focus on the most impactful tools for their digital transformation journey?
It's quite interesting question, Aishi. I think I have been in entrepreneur journey for like almost a decade. When I found my company, Excel Private Limited, so I was totally lost, and I think it's overwhelming for anyone who are in the beginning stage. So there are different stages in entrepreneurship, as we know, especially. I mean SMEs. When you have a confidence that this is something that you can add value to the world with whatever products that you want to offer, but at the same time, what I realized in initial years of my journey is that knowing what you can give, right? I mean, okay, I'm good at it. This is the topic, I'm good at it. But making, delivering what I know in such a way that people understand is a different level of ball game in itself. And entrepreneurship and knowing what you know is also a different two different categories, right? So there is so much of noise, and especially when you're entering as an SME into entrepreneurship, if you don't have the background of entrepreneurship, and if you don't have the background, if you don't have a mentor, it will not be easy. It could be overwhelming, as you mentioned, right? I mean, it is overwhelming for them, and there is so much of noise because these days knowledge is easier, right? Just with a one click you can get so much of information online. What is for you, what is not for you, how do you know that, right? So basically it starts with asking this question, right, to yourself, like why you started in the beginning, right? I mean, what is it, what kind of value that you're adding with your product or service as an entrepreneur, as an SME? What is it that you're giving to this world that can benefit them to be little better, or to do things in a better way, or to think better way in whatever way they are serving? So first thing is clarity. So if you're very much clear about what is it that you can offer and how different you are from others, then your focus will be completely on what is more important for you, and we can stay focused on that. So the moment when we step out of this focus, that's where this overwhelm comes. And also, like in initial years of my, I had mentors. They said like there's a shiny object syndrome. Means, like, everything that shines, you feel like in the beginning, because you don't have experience, you might think that, oh, okay, this works well for me. First thing, let me be very clear here, that if something some works for someone else, it doesn't mean that it works for you as well. It's good to take advice from people, but at the same time, please do a thorough research, and please ask this. It's a bit of an inner work. It's not only because we can have credibilities, we can have certifications, we can have experiences, we can have qualifications, but at the same time, at a human level, we are not evolved to the extent to find the path which is very much clear for you, and the path which is exclusively for you. It takes a bit of an inner work besides these qualifications and certifications and education, whatever that we attain. And this have been my journey. I learned it hard way. I never had this kind of maturity at that time. So I feel like if you really want to cut down on noise, please focus on clarity. What is the vision and mission of your life? what is the vision and mission of your organization, what is the vision and mission. Even though if you're not representing an organization, you as a professional, you as a maybe a family member, you will have a vision, and we all have purpose, right? So if you start from there, then it's much easier to streamline the whole process. Like, I mean, if you're into certain business and you're focusing on something from the other business, you cannot focus, right? So it's all about having a clarity of a vision and mission of your life. Then find a direction where you can find these digital transformation aspects where you need to implement, or I mean, how exactly you can implement your vision and mission. So I think clarity starts with clarity. That's why even in my 3 C's model, they took me 10 years to develop that model. So it starts with clarity. Without clarity, if we are taking action, maybe it's like we are running on a treadmill. We are not reaching anywhere. We are running there. Maybe I feel that I'm working hard. Sometimes people, oh my God, I'm working hard. I'm overwhelmed. I feel burned out. I don't know why I'm not getting result. Like what there, if we are moving in a direction which is not the right direction, no matter how much hard work we put, there's no point, right? So find a direction with the clarity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Clarity is the key. Getting your objective very clear, your goal behind everything is definitely clear. Thank you for the descriptive answer. It is very helpful, and definitely we'll keep in mind. And whosoever is watching, I'm sure it was very helpful for them. So, going ahead, Kurat, I have a question for you. What financial strategies can SMEs use to adopt new technologies while ensuring sustainable?
Actually, thank you, Ayushi. It's a good question, and I'm glad that you are starting from the top of the, you can say, the point where actually everyone should start. But I'll try to like look a little bit into the thing that actually this finance is the backbone of a business and kind of considered as the most important, or the area where actually we think that there are a lot of repetitive things and we can do almost it is considered that we can do full automation around it, but it is the most trickiest area as well because your complete business depends on the decision making, and your 90% of the decision making depend upon on the data and on the things which are actually dependent on this type of side, your financing, your accounting, your taxation, and even your scaling to the markets. It also depends upon the data which is coming through these things, if you are capable to do and not. And where when it comes to the strategies, especially for the automation and sustainability in this era where we are actually very rapidly going into something new which is unpredictable and uncertain still at this point. So
Right.
strategies can be different for everyone, like just Rafiya was saying, so that one thing cannot fit all. So it same goes for the financial strategies as well. One thing cannot go for all. Everyone has to check that where they stand and where they want to go. But some things from where and from around which we can decide is like what is the benefit we are getting out of it, so and
Right.
what are we going to spend on it. So when we do that cost benefit analysis, these type first thing, it should come to the mind, because your finance department will always be looking forward to the core. The IT will always want to go for the automation, try new things, taking testing the new skies, but the finance people have to keep them on the ground by checking that actually what are you getting in return in terms of the fuel of the company. And then it
Correct.
comes that how you strategize around your implementations and the things that actually which market you are going to in, is this market evolving enough and still it is ready to get into that automation, your customers are willing to go into that, your other stakeholders are taking into account. If you want to move forward and they are not ready, the strategy can be actually backfired you. So there are, this is not a very simple thing. So apart from one thing that what you adopt, and the other thing I think at this point of time the SMEs have to strategize about the collaborations, that how can actually they build collectively the environment where they can move forward and take advantage of this a wave of AI and automations which are coming forward, and how they can build the ecosystem around it, because it will actually reduce the gap between the organization which are sitting at one part of the world and at the other part of one. The speed of the connectivity will increase so much, so the decision making speed has to be increased that much. So your strategies has to move around that, how you are going to move forward around it.
Okay, so strategies and finance aspect and the thought process all goes hand in hand. You cannot rely on one aspect at one time. Thank you
Yes.
very much for the explanation. Somewhere or the other, we all know, but we don't accept it. Coming from a finance aspect and finance expert, sorry, definitely we have no other choice to accept it. So thank you very much, Kurat, for your answer. I'll go ahead with another question here. What are the first steps of SMEs should take to gain clarity on what digital transformation means for their business? So this is a kind of a personal question of mine, Rafia here, because they don't get the clarity when they think of adoption. Or everyone in this world want advanced technology and all that, but they don't get the clarity if this particular adoption is going to help their business. So, what is the first step the leader should take?
It's the most important question, Ayushi. I think because we as human beings we have this resistance to change. So now AI, right? We have been through different changes, and change is the part of transformation. Change is inevitable for growth. So now we have this AI wave, and as you mentioned, right, it is difficult for people to make them understand, as you as an SME in this field of digital transformation, right? So how we can create, so first thing what I notice is lack of awareness, right? So when something new comes, as a human tendency we have this fear of unknown. We all have this fear of unknown, right? So when COVID came, we don't know what to expect. We were just sitting
Correct.
and watching what will go. So certain changes in life, in professional life and personal life, they are in our control. Certain they are not in our control, right? So as an SME, how we can, so probably the first step is to create awareness. So if your clients, or including me, if I know more about how it can benefit me in my business, in my growth or expanding my business, so probably I can take a little more. So I, speaking of which, AI, of course, I think it's pretty much everywhere. Like in online, when
Yeah.
you click, everywhere you can see. But I don't think everyone understands it. Some people are scared of it. Some people have different ideas, right? So if we could be able to create a bit more of awareness in this area, that you need not to be scared of it, but you can collaborate, as Kurat very rightly said, right? And it's all about collaboration. It's not only collaboration. We are not only collaborating with the people, with the businesses. We are also collaborating with technology. If you're not
Correct.
technol if you're not collaborating with technology, I think we'll be we cannot you know we cannot be how to say, like, we cannot follow through the trends, and we cannot adapt a business, because it is change. When the change comes, if I say that I am not willing to and ready to adopt to this change, then we need to either step back from the business, or we need to think about something else where the technology is not involved. So it is much important. Change is coming, and it is faster as the speed it is picking up. I can see that there is so much of scope. So thanks to Ayushi and anyone who is creating this awareness through Strenure and other opportunities, and even giving opportunities for us to keep our voice. Even I am learning, like in couple of days, like we have certain conversations. You explained a few things to me about AI and how it can help me, and it kind of expanded my horizons in the field of AI, which is not my field, but again I have to collaborate with it.
Right. We are in the ecosystem. We cannot escape it. Yeah.
No, we cannot.
Okay, perfect. So well said, Rafia. I totally understand it. And the best part is things are coming from you. Your experts like you is more convincing. Again, I say adapting new changes and human psychology is all linked together. And at the end of the day, we are dealing with living beings. So adaptation and acceptance is the key. That is the reason I chose you to be the first speaker, because this is where we as SME owners lag, right? Making decisions. Although we are in the leadership position, we can help our employees and group of people to organize things. But when it comes to us, the three C's are missing most of the times. So
Because it's
yeah,
easier to say than do, right?
exactly,
It's
absolutely.
easier to say than do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead. So, sorry, dear speakers, this is not an interview. So I'm just pushing questions after questions. Don't feel free to speak whatever you want to. It's just I have some expectations from my audience that they want answers from you. That is the reason I'm coming back to another question. Do you have any feedback or any information that you want to share, Rafia and Kurat?
Kurat, you want to go ahead first?
Anything that you want to share, or should I go ahead with another question? This should not sound like an interview. This is not an interview.
Actually, Ayushi, probably you can share something. I mean, we would love to hear, right?
Yes.
Kurat, I mean, we have our expertise
Yeah.
in our field, right? I don't have much of an information in my pocket yet about AI, how it can benefit me. Why don't you share a couple of nuggets, Ayushi? What do you think,
Certainly.
Kurat?
So the last question that you answered, Rafia, was somewhere related to my question. It is very easy to talk about high-fi, high-tech stuff, but when it comes to convincing a client or making them understand, like knowledge transfer or educating them on certain aspects, it is difficult, because accepting new change takes time, and that is the reason we are on organizing these knowledge sessions, so that these leaders, whosoever is watching this event, gets absolutely clear what should be their next step, at least be intuitive about it, right? So that is the reason we organize this, because there are many people around who have ample information, great information, and these questions were specially structured by them for you to answer that. And that is the reason we have jotted out these questions. But the intention is to make you comfortable and talk to our audience. Of course, there are many other questions coming. You remember the Excel sheet that I shared. So definitely, there is somewhere or the other we are going to mutually benefit each other. Yeah.
And I want to second you, Yoshi, and I want to share one more thing, that it looks very overwhelming and very, you can say that, appealing to have AI and automation. But on
Right.
ground realities, it's not that easy.
Correct.
The biggest challenges SMEs are facing, they don't allow them to go through all that. And then, as Rafia was saying, that human psychology is the biggest hindrance still, so it's
Right.
not that
Absolutely.
easy.
Correct, correct. Absolutely. Very true. That's indeed very true. And wrapping up with this information, since we have limited time, I'm jumping to another question, if you don't mind, Kurat.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going ahead with another question, and that question is: how can SMEs ensure their digital transformation efforts are aligned with strong governance, especially as they grow?
This topic is very dear to my heart because I see that the governance is still issue worldwide. Even the strongest economies and the strongest compliance frameworks are still struggling in making efforts to move along. And when it comes to the SME, where the things are very vague and open for to go south anytime, so it definitely it's not easy, and it will be more challenging because AI still is limitless. Nobody knows that where it is going, how it is going to affect the businesses. So
Right.
for handling the governance, especially for your SMEs, it is very important that all board members and all the key personals know that what is the vision they are going to take in that regard, where you want to take it, what is the direction, and is it aligned with your organization vision and mission, and are you aware of all the risks which are actually coming forward to you. Either they are subject to your market, subject to your product, subject to your employees, or subject to the cyber security issues, and then the issues which we have with the data, which is actually the thing which has created AI for us. If without the data and data clusters and data formations, we were not actually looking forward to that AI and automation. So
Right.
at the governance level, you have to go through all those things, and then the rapidly changing requirements and regulatory environments in the world is shaping and taking some new shape. And when we take the bird eye view, all over the world, the compliance requirements are changing, the regulations are changing, the trade bodies are actually changing their rules, the trade agreements which are becoming forward between the organization with the economies, with the requirements in terms of the climate, and it actually the ESG reporting requirements, sustainability requirements, that will actually change a lot of things, and it will change the revenue models and the cost models, and maybe a lot of production facility and market allocations. It is not something small. So governance is, I guess, the
Right.
most difficult gonna thing, and we cannot ignore that thing, that most of our businesses, the top businesses, are family oriented.
Oh,
The
yes.
family owned businesses, they are the legacy businesses, and it's so same goes for the SMEs. So
Hmm.
that aspect is also there, and the people have to make sure that their incoming board members, their incoming family members, the outsider independent directors, or their other C-suite level positions, they are aligned with the things they are looking forward to. And then there is a transparency over there, which is actually important for the internal matters, for the board matters, and that how the securities exchange commissions are making the things very transparent, and this is kind of a web. So governance is kind of like the most difficult aspects in terms of the AI, because we are still thinking to talk about the AI ethics, but we are no way finding it to like just getting in some boundaries. So let's see how it goes and how it can work.
Correct, correct. So I read one, sorry, I listened to one podcast the other day, and it said that there is no defined, restrictions, constraints, or ethics, as you can say, ethics correction board or something like that, which can define a borderline of what is legal, what is illegal, at what extent they can measure certain data. So I understand. And about governance, there are certain checklists that you just mentioned that we have to take in, consideration
And the
to.
biggest issue and the biggest thing, who will be actually responsible for that?
Hmm.
Where the responsibility will lie? How
Oh,
will lie?
yes.
How you will track all those things?
Correct. Correct.
So let's see where it goes.
Absolutely. Very true. It is very difficult to give a defined structure to that. And yeah. So, ending this question on a question mark still, because we are just curious to know, and it's all the governing bodies who have to make a decision and define certain rules, and then we can conclude to this question. We are moving ahead to another question to Rafia. It is related to leadership. What leadership strategies can SMEs use to instill confidence in their teams during the transition to new technologies? And this is one of my personal experience again. Uh, Team is reluctant to adapt new technologies and tools. So, as a leader, how we should promote it, how we should instill in this, this information in the group.
Okay, thank you for this question. I mean, what highlights in your whole question is the confidence, right? So, what is confidence? Where this confidence we bring it on, right? So, of course, people have different definitions of confidence based on what what have been their journey, right? So, of course, I had my journey. I was a shy kid, becoming a public speaker. It was like totally a uh, it having a
Oh,
journey of
wonderful.
15 years. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I absolutely had. Zero confidence, zero communication skills, and now I'm teaching it. It's have been a journey, right? So, but I mean, taking my example, and also having this experience working with the senior leaders, and this is a common question actually. Most of like, you could be amazing, as Kurat said, as you also mentioned, you could be amazing in what you do as a leader, right? You could be perfect. You could be a perfect leader. You have the knowledge base, you have the experience, skill set, everything. But when you are a leader, it's not only about you, how good you are, it is also about how you can make your team work with the collected, work for the collective goal.
Correct.
And that's what exactly is leadership. So why people are scared of leadership, people who are in the beginning stages of leadership, because it's a different level of expertise, and we cannot make your team work just by bossing around. I'm a boss, you need to listen to me. It doesn't work that way. We are
Correct.
uh, hello,
Absolutely.
we are living in this era, so the first thing I would say, three things which are much much important as a leader for you, especially when these transitions are happening, right? Even I mean, now the digital transformation is one thing. Mergers happen in companies, right? So the teams are not ready to accept the new leadership,
Right.
and but you need to convince them to be, to ensure that you have a smooth transition during
Mm.
mergers, during new technology coming in. Now AI, sometimes they are forced to, right? So they are forced to do.
Right.
Maybe as a leader you can understand, and you have a bigger vision, you have a bigger picture, you are a part of a bigger picture, being a stakeholder and the key decision maker of the organization. But maybe your team is not having that kind of
Absolutely.
awareness, maturity and experience level to understand why it is important. So what is it, that first thing that comes? Of course we need confidence. How we can have that confidence? First of all, knowing your stuff. If as a
Mm.
leader, if I am saying that I know this, that means I really thoroughly researched, or probably I lived it, probably I worked for it, probably I have gone through that to say, like, now I'm saying that 3 C's is my model. Why? Because it have been my life journey. At some point
Right.
of time I had no clarity in life what to do. Once I got the clarity, then I had no confidence. Imposter syndrome, what will happen if I go wrong.
Oh,
These
okay,
are
okay.
this I nobody believes. And I was so totally scared even to utter a word, right? So now, yeah, I know nobody believes, but
Yeah, we are not believing it. Yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
that's if it's true. I mean, it's a long journey you have traveled, and high respect for you and your
Thank you
achievements. Yeah.
so much. But absolutely, that's why I think I understand the leadership journey. And mostly it is, they say leadership journey is lonely. Why? Because your team, maybe your family members, maybe your higher management, they might not understand your vision. Still you
Mm.
need to move ahead. Sometimes you can't even tell them why it is important for you, what is the bigger picture, like how it can benefit the team, your organization, or for yourself as a leader, right? So first thing, have you will get that confidence with awareness, knowledge. If you want to
Correct.
instill AI to your team, please first go and get some information, go do some course, maybe consult Ayushi and
Mhm.
to other SMEs in this area and get your information. Because through my journey, what I realized, I gained confidence when I got the clarity, vision of my life, right? This next step was, I was totally scared. I don't know how to, take action, because to get rid of those fears, all my fears are gone once I started learning from scratch. So if you're a leader, please invest in yourself to
Right.
learn first. Be a learner so that you can instill that, because that gives you confidence, right? If I'm saying that I know this, and if I don't know, I can't lie, right? It shows up. It shows up. I mean, even you can't pretend to be a boss and you're not a boss when you have not done that part. If you're promoted as a leader, that means you have done your part for years, right? So you have gained something. But it doesn't mean that you know everything, and that is okay. So the
Mm.
first thing, learn, be a good learner, be a lifelong learner. That will give you confidence. And second thing is, have an empathy. It is the
Empathy.
most underrated quality. I have been in coaching for last 10 years. I have been coaching senior leaders, the most senior leaders, and I have seen the top notch leaders. They have been the most humble and empathic leaders. They are
Mm.
there because they have this quality of empathy. And of course they work
Mhm.
hard. No matter how successful they are, they will never stop learning. Maybe it's a new
Mm.
technology, or maybe it's a new transition, a new version in the existing technology, or whatever. So they're always updating their knowledge. So if you are updating your knowledge as a leader, it's easier to convince your team, because when you're convincing, they know that, oh, he knows his stuff. You're setting an example and inspiration. So the second is empathy. Empathy comes like understanding that maybe you're a leader, but your teammates are not there yet in terms of the maturity level, the knowledge and experience. So trying to be in their shoes, makes the job easier for you to build healthy relationships at workplace, and
Mm-hmm.
inspire action to your team members. So having empathy, so sometimes it could be frustrating, really, like, because you need to start explaining from scratch, from ABC. But that is okay.
Right.
That is okay, because your journey have been different, their journey have been. So empathy is a game changer. Please, if you're a SME, if you're a speaker, coach, I have been my journey. Thankfully it comes naturally to me, thanks to my parents, or the kind of upbringing, or the family values. I think that really played a huge role in my success for today who I am. And I've seen the leaders at the top notch, at their top of their game, and empathy. And the third one is what I said. Confidence comes with knowing your stuff, being a lifelong learner, having an empathy, and third thing is communication. Right? I mean, you have empathy, you know your stuff, but if you don't know how to communicate, right? I mean, you're great at what you do. I mean, if I'm telling that I'm a speaker, right? I'm great. I have been learning for 10 years the same topic. I have been speaking on global stages. But if I don't have the confidence, right, the delivery makes a huge difference. If you are
Right.
a leader, it doesn't matter how much there is a quote, I forgot, it doesn't matter how much you know, but it does matter how much you care. No, yeah, nobody cares how much you know,
Hmm.
but people care. People, I'm sorry, I'm not getting that. It's actually I've written a wrong post. So the bottom line is, like, it's not enough of learning. You need to
Mm-hmm.
learn to communicate in a way that your team understands, right? Especially change is scary, right? And you as a leader, you have already going through the lonely journey, right? Sometimes it will be really lonely, right? And you need to get hold of yourself, your emotions, your strength, your resilience in place before get going to your team. Ensure that you have all these aspects taken care. If not, please work on that. Then it's easy to inspire team members. If you're not doing what, I mean, if you're not walking your talk, trust me,
Correct.
it is very difficult. So walk your talk. Communicate in a way that they understand, right? I mean, if you speak English, if I speak French, and I'm trying to speak in French, would you understand?
Mm. Of course not. Yeah. Lack of
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah, understand. So if you have any communication gaps, try to work on it, and it is okay. Like, still people go and get that, personal development courses or whatever that can help you to improve your communication. You might be good at what you do, but if you cannot deliver in a way that your audience or your team members or your clients understands, then you cannot deliver the value that they deserve. So three things: be a lifelong learner, have an empathy to understand and be in their shoes, and have a proper communication, bridge the communication gaps.
Wonderful. One confession here to both of you. I saw your pictures, both of your pictures, holding mic and people around you. That definitely defines all the three aspects you both have. So again, thank you. It's on an honor. It's my honor to meet you both with empathy, knowledge of your field, and communication. So, guys, whatever Rafia said, she and Kurat both are examples themselves. So nothing more to say. Thank you very much. This is the best explanation I ever got. So we'll keep in mind. And moving ahead, well, I am thrilled with and overwhelmed with all the information. I have to go to the recording again and implement it for myself. So again, thank you very much. Kurat, I'm moving ahead with another question. And this is an entrepreneur related question. So, as an entrepreneur and investor, what are the key challenges SMEs face when deciding to invest in new technologies?
Okay, that's quite interesting questions and a double sword, I guess, double-edged sword. So, first two of your questions were actually the level of the leadership and the kind of like which needed a very holistic bird view type of thing.
Yes,
Now we
yes,
are, if we coming towards the entrepreneurship, then it comes again. You have the two directions. Either you are the owner of the SME, or either you are handling that department of the organization.
correct.
So if we are coming from the ownership side, then definitely You don't know, you are always lack of resources. When we talk about the entrepreneurs, they never have enough resources. In fact, I guess the economics depend upon the scarcity of resources concept. So you never have enough resources, either in terms of the employees, either in terms of the technical things, either in terms of the finances. But when we come towards the digital adoption and AI things, AI is still an expensive thing, because you need to have, when you actually go for the adoption, it needs a lot of data rooms and servers and the things. Otherwise you can opt for other things, which obviously we will talk in other things. But you need to decide that what are your resources, how you are going to how you are going to arrange them, how you are going to disperse them, and who is going to take responsibility of that. Entrepreneurs are always issue of the issue of finances. Then there is an issue of uncertainty. You don't know
Right.
what is the return on investment you are doing on these things. That same come from the aspect of the investor as well. We are going to see the rapid adoption of that investment into AI, and we are actually watching it. The different markets in the world are evolving around it, but how they are going to benefit it,
Hmm.
which SME is going to give the return, and either they are able to do or not, and how much, because you don't have any benchmarks yet, you don't have any standards, you don't have any comparative figures, so you don't know that what it actually leading to that. So
Hmm.
from entrepreneurship point of view, these are the issues. And then if we come, we don't know how are we going to integrate all these things.
Right.
Integration with your current system, integration with your markets, integration with your environment, that is also an issue which entrepreneurs are going to face. And that depends on, like, either you are in the emerging market or either you are already in a developed market. So the challenges will be different and the people will decide according to their things. Then there is a thing that technical knowledge is missing. A lot of people you are required for developing the AI. If you have enough resources, you can develop your AI, your models, the data actually which are coming, and then how you are going to process, and you have developed your own system which can actually learn, evaluate, give decision for yourself, can help your own department. But then if you don't have all those things, then how you are going to tackle it? Who are the
Correct.
people who will do that? How you
Hmm.
will control the security issues around it? Your data will be always at the stake. If you are working with the clients who are confidential, their confidentiality is always important. How you will ensure? Every other day we heard that the data is leaked, there is a hacking, there is a thing. Then the people are still reluctant to adopt a lot of things because of that reason. Then regulatory compliances. Okay, fine. There is another important thing. Currencies are changing. The world is adopting different type of currencies now. Different types of things are coming forward. So, how you will bring the technical knowledge around it? How you will actually know the people who are calling themselves the experts? Either they just have the knowledge, either they just are the researchers, or either they are the people who can actually implement and understand the business. Because there is a difference between a researcher and a business owner, and the things actually take a decade or two because of this reason, definitely. So these are
Right.
the issues. Then there are some hidden issues which actually the very ground level people know, and it is very important for the entrepreneurs and investors how you can rely on the accuracy of the data and the quality
Right.
of the data you are receiving, which is actually generated in doing automation, and how you will be able to take the decision on that thing. And then second thing, AI is also have the biases. It is not learned enough yet, and it will take
Right.
time. And in I guess actually, last year I did some course around it, and we were just discussing that at the highest level still there is 60 to 70% chances of accuracy only. But we cannot make decisions on 60 to
Absolutely.
70% of the accuracy. And then another very important thing is that this all needs still the human oversight. Now you need to decide that at what level you need to decide that oversight level. The person who is sitting at the highest level have to rely on those things, but at the lowest level, who will be able enough to decide that the data or the decision which is coming from the AI is right or not. For example, if AI is reconciling your bank statements, by itself. How you know it that you have enough measures and controls that there is no error occurred anywhere? So this is a
Absolutely.
small example. So
Hmm.
these are the challenges which are being faced by those, and investors definitely their viewpoint is totally different. Apart from these all things, they need to see that where it is ending. When you
Hmm.
don't know that you are jumping into the ocean and not knowing where it is going, and the changing environment at the world level, the geo economics and geo trades are changing, so it's become difficult. So let's see who takes the leap of the faith here in
Hmm.
these things. It
I
is
can
totally
see,
at your
I
whim.
can see you are a very stern and practical investor right now. Your questions are like, so if we try to propose our model to you, it's little scary. We have to do our homework. So no, that's very good actually. Even if anyone is aspiring to be an investor, they should make a checklist of all these things. Yeah, for sure. So this is incredible. Information is very good. So, moving ahead, we are left with two more questions. So, the first question to Rafia is, how can SMEs stay focused on long term growth when they are overwhelmed by the number of digital tools available? And also, of course, on the changing market and changing tools also. So, how should stay calm and focused?
Okay. Thanks for this question. So I received a message. Can I answer the clarity, the stepping stone to take off? Thank you, Swarna. First of all, Swarna Kalyan for joining us. I've received a message. Clarity, the stepping stone to take off. Absolutely, as you mentioned, it's true. And communication is consistency. It's true, right? You know, in consistency in communication, it's not like uh, uh, Vidushi saying.
Yeah.
AI is ever evolving, and definitely it would take time where we can absolutely rely on it. Yeah, it's true, right? Probably you can reply to this, uh,
Yeah.
Ayushi. Yeah,
Sure, sure.
AI is ever evolving, and definitely it would take. I mean, I think, is it okay if we reply to these messages? Because I really appreciate people taking time and joining us and giving us this, sharing their views. So, is that okay if
Yeah.
I respond to them?
Yeah, no, it's okay. We can do it after the call. That is totally fine. I
Okay.
think they are watching it right now. I can see some
Okay.
people joining more.
Sure.
So yeah,
Sure. Okay. So your question is like, how to stay focused and manage this overwhelm and stay calm when we have number of technologies around, right? So first of all, I think the key for is time management,
mm-hmm.
right? And overall, even the time management, even the lifestyle, whatever you do, even an entrepreneurship, and as for an SME itself is mindset. Growth is a mindset, right? What you think. So when I was pursuing my masters of neurolinguistic programming in London, so I have learned this beautiful phrase from Dr. Richard Bandler, who is a co-creator of NLP. He said, like, what you think is what you believe, and what you believe is what you do,
Correct.
right? So if you think that you need that long term focus, even if you're an entrepreneur, if you are having a client, like you serve them, he's a happy client, but if you could not be able to achieve repeated clients, then probably your growth is not sustainable,
Mm.
right? When you know how you can set your standard, that you are doing well, that means they will come back to you, because there's no other who can add value, who can add the same kind of value and the service that you can give, because you're different, or maybe you're very much suitable to that specific client. So when he or she would not find any other option, they will come back to you. How they will
Correct.
come back? When they see that there is a consistency, as Swarna mentioned, that there is a consistency also in growth, right? In consistency in your actions.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to be a long player, if you want to stay focused on your goals for a long time without any noise, of course, first of all, your mindset, right? And please, once a while, take a pause, reflect back, and think that whatever thought process that you have been having, adapting, your values and beliefs, probably they have been serving you well at until this point. But maybe from this stage or for the next chapters of your life, those values and beliefs, maybe they are not serving. I'm not saying that don't change your core values, and it is very important as a human what values we have. We need not to compromise, but the things which are agile, where we need to be adapted, it is very important to take a break once a while, and think, what is going wrong. If you're losing focus, right, I mean, there must be a reason. When you enter the market, when you are an SME, you are SME for a reason, because you really loved it, you wanted to do it, and you stand for it, you care for it, right? But now, once you entered, once you started enjoying the process actually, but then again many changes comes all at the same time. So if you have a lack of experience, as someone like me in the beginning, right, I was all the time, I was overwhelmed, I got burnt out many times already. So
Right,
but
right.
my journey, what I realized is saying no.
Hmm.
Saying no to what is not a priority for you, like time management. So in time management, what comes is priority.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
Having
hmm.
a checklist, what comes the first priority, what comes the second priority, and giving 80-20 rule, right? I mean, what comes first, you need to give 80% of your day, 20%
Right.
comes later. So whatever effort that you put in, you can see the result. You
Absolutely.
when exactly you get overwhelmed, when, because especially when you're new, right, I mean, we want to take up, we are like hungry to for the opportunities. Whatever comes in, we want to take up, and we want to serve. But at the end of the day, what happens, sometimes you might under deliver. I mean, you are
Correct.
great at what you're doing when you over deliver than what you promised.
Hmm, 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 hmm. Absolutely.
And
It's
if
true.
you are under delivering, so lack of focus also could be one of the reason that you're under delivering. That means you are degrading the value that you are adding to your clients. So now, how to bring that focus back? First of all, having, again, it starts with 3 C's. See, clarity, confidence, courage. We'll be looping around this. Get a
Yes.
very clear understanding about your goals and the priority of those goals at this specific stage of your life. Imagine that when you're trying to put food on table and you're thinking of business class, boat doesn't go well. Class, travel,
Hmm,
your
hmm,
first
hmm, hmm.
priority is to put food on table. So be very clear what is much more important for you, for your business, for your family, for your community at this stage. And this strategic move is much more important. So have a very clear strategy. As Kurat as also mentioned, right? Strategies are important for us. If you really want to stay focused for long-term growth, is your strategy working well? Maybe this strategy worked well for you for last few years or of your business into your business, but now maybe now AI boom is coming, right? You need to change your strategy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should be flexible
So
enough.
that is saying no.
Hmm.
And mindset, right? What are the values and beliefs that are serving you and what are not? I mean, maybe we have blind spots. As leaders, we all have blind spots. Figure out what are the blind spots, and probably you can work on it. What else? What else? Business model. You can revamp your business model, right? I mean, based on AI now, I think many people are rebranding their work, and many businesses and SMEs are working on their rebranding. So, absolutely, revamp your business model if it is required to stay relevant, and that will give you more confidence and focus. But for most importantly, first prioritize what is more important for you at this stage, and say no to everything else. Rest everything is noise. Rest
Hmm.
everything is, if we are if you're going if you're taking many things on plate at the same time, that's the cause of overwhelm. Multitasking is the cause of overwhelm and burnout, and majority of the employees, they're struggling because they want to do everything. Yes, you can have it all, but not at the same time. Do one thing at a time. That will give you the productivity and focus that is needed for you to fully. And when you deliver with that kind of focus, the result will be amazing for your clients. They will bring in more clients rather than taking 10 or 15 clients at the same time, and you're under delivering because you're overwhelmed. So I think, please think about your priorities. Take time, how you're managing your time in a day. Say no to things which are not your primary priority at this stage.
Absolutely. I don't blame people individually here. Nowadays, social media and too much of internet is also making them overwhelmed to make a decision. If they are doing that and that and that, I should do this and that, even if it is not allowing their body, their lifestyle. So yeah,
Absolutely.
focus is getting lost. And
And
uh,
healthy competition is important these days. If you're being competitive, it is good. You need to be competitive in business, but it should be healthy. It should not kill your confidence. It should not kill your, I mean, to the level that you want to give up. I mean, that's the worst, right?
Correct.
You don't want to
Absolutely.
give up. You don't want to give up. Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Very well said, Rafia. Now we are moving ahead with the last question of the day, and that question is to Kurat. And my question to her is, what steps should SMEs take to ensure that digital transformation aligns with their financial goals and budget? And this question is for majorly new startups who are not able to figure out from where they should start and what they should spend.
Okay, okay. Now the dynamics are changed, like the new setups. Fine. Uh, when it comes to the type of automation we are looking forward in these regards, into your budgeting and financial things and other compliances, they can there are a lot of options available in the market. They first of all they can see that what which are the things which are important for them. Fine. When we see at the SME level, there are the things that your invoicing, your expenses, your reporting, your analysis, your risk, your payment options, everything is there, and they are somehow developed to spend on that. But when you are the new setup, you need to decide that how much. Now let's not go towards that thing which are looking for the investor. I am assuming the things who have a little bit of resources to go with them. So you first thing first, you need to align that what are your financial goals. If your goals are defined, you know that how much you need to earn, how much cost you need to save, which benefits you want to avail, which markets you want to go in, how much market share you want to avail. When you're these majorly I'm defining, there are a lot of other things as well. When you know these things, according to that you can go from, you can go on. If you are penetrating at the very surface level and you don't need a lot of things, then your Excel sheets can a lot of work for you. But when you are moving forward, your QuickBooks, your there are the SAP, the Udo, Zero, there is a list, a huge list of things which can actually help you out there. The very economical versions available, you can have a resource which can use that. These type of things you can do. So you have to analyze that which of what of the softwares can work for you, which are already installed in your co-pilot type things and all that. At the ground level, your staff should know all those things. So the first thing your goals. Second, what you are looking at and looking for. Then you need to assign the budget for that. When you
Right.
are planning for your new setup or your new year or your new thing, you need to set aside the budget, and you should know that actually what type of cash flow I'm expecting from that. See, the cash flow management is very important for the new businesses, and you might be flowing a lot of money, assuming that this thing is also important, this thing is also important, but you need to take the small steps. Either having the in-house all the facility, the new businesses can opt for the subscription based businesses, for the options and softwares and things. They can opt for the cloud based things, or the few of the businesses can combine their resources and use a resource collectively for themselves. These are the things they can do. Then there is a thing to foster, the startup has to foster the culture of this thing, that their employees are actually savvy about that thing. Then there is a thing, always keep on testing. The new businesses should always implement a part of the thing, see their result, analyze the thing, and then move forward about that. It will help them. It will not burn out their cash. It will not take them into the like have to do a lot of things all together. It will save them in these things. Secondly, the small businesses have a very positive thing, or you can say a little bit a drawback along, but still it's a positive. They can actually see the whole supply chain, so they can decide that we don't need that type or that level of thing to align with all the things. Their most They can actually identify their most important stakeholders, departments, personnel, or the things which actually in start it can help out. For example, their invoicing should be intact. Timely invoices help in credibility as well, in timely cash flows as well, and obviously it doesn't bring the stress on your head also. It helps you in avoiding a lot of things. Then their expense tracking is very important.
Expense tracking.
Very important. how they are going to track their expenses, or after every 15 days. It should be a habit for the entrepreneur, for the startup owner, to see that thing, that how they are going. Sometimes their software or the person who is working for them can miss any invoice, or there is something which is not aligned yet. They can have that planning side of things. These are the few steps they can do. And one thing more important is that their team should be on the same level of understanding and moving forward to adopt those things and follow up those things. I think it's quite the thing. And the more and more they can attach the automation in the cash flow management, it is very important for the small businesses. Cash flow is extremely important, because no business die because of the lack of innovation or something like that. I am a very typical person. If you don't have the money, your business will not go on. And if even you are doing the borest and dumbest thing in the world, if you have enough money to run in and people want it, it will go on.
Right, right, absolutely. Now this now this question was a kind of reverse question. I should have asked for you first and then Rafia. The reason I did it otherwise was there are many solopreneurs who have a burnout. They take a lot of things, they take a lot of load, they purchase a lot of tools, and money is flowing like anything, and they have their own burden. At the same time, they don't have money to hire resources, outsource their work, and everything is a mess. As a result, the objective of the company, of the project, is lost. So definitely, very well said, Kurat. You need to have a track of your cash flow, and definitely accounts. And I am a naive person in accounts and finance, but I understand what you are trying to say. That you have to focus on that aspect as well. You have to be very strategic in your approach and how you spend money in different directions. So that was the last question of the.
Ayushi,
Am I audible?
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
For the solopreneurs and very early startup, I will just simple give them one or two things, like, don't lose a track of any money you have spent or come into your system. After that, any professional can help you. But if you have lost that track and you don't have the record, nobody can help you.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, what are your what are your observations on people spending a lot on digital marketing while their actual work is not reflected much? I mean, it's vague. So, I want your views, both of your views. People are doing a lot of personal branding, but when it comes to the quality of service, the quality of tools that they should provide, it's not up to the mark. What are your views on that? Any guidance
Uh,
you would like to give them?
Rafia, you want to go first?
You please go ahead, Kurat. I'll speak after you. I think you already have something. I can feel it. Please.
No, I actually I have a 2 decade of almost experience of my working life, and I actually bring up things from that point of view. Yes, you are right, and it happens a lot with me when I see the very big broods, and when I go near, I don't find that type of quality and
Yeah.
the thing which I was expecting from that. This happens a lot of time. And how you can save yourself, actually, there's a thing, people are very quick in taking decisions sometimes, or judging, or they have somehow lost that sense that how they need to do the judgment and decisions, and what should be the parameters of all those things. When we have someone else to dictate us that these are the things which you need to look for and decide, and avoid totally watching inside ourselves, inside our business, and then take the decision that what is getting aligned, what will be the useful. When they go out of their way and running after the thing which is, Rafael just said, the shiny object syndrome is very bad nowadays. So that's why people are spending a lot of money on the marketing, and but when it comes at part of the actually working, So there are the things which are actually lacking, and what people can do, that is very tricky actually. When you will build your three C's, yes, no, I'll say that when your three C's are built up, you will be able to deduct very easily. When you are clear what you want, when you clear who you are and what you are looking for, when you have enough knowledge, and then you have enough of the experience as well around it, then it's not that difficult to decide that where you want to go to, who is the person you are looking for. And sometimes there's another aspect as well. We build the thing in our mind, which is usually not there. Why we want to have a lot of expectations from other when our vessel is not prepared to receive that much.
Hmm.
A small business want a lot of help from the professional, a lot of things from that, but are you prepared for that thing? Are you at that stage? That is also a thought provoking thing, that sometimes I see a small business say that I am such a big, my achievement is this, I have raised a lot of fund and all that. But when you see their cash flow and their other things are not saying that much, the investors are putting in money, and when you check at the ground level, 100 of people can just step in the second day and they can take over.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. A lot of show off, but the base is like all shattered. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Any
So
views
that's
of
why
yours?
people.
Yeah.
So that's why people who are growing big, they are growing mostly in the silence.
Silence
Mm.
and slowly. Slowly is okay, but don't try to
Yes.
go so fast that everything is lost. Yeah. Yeah. Any suggestion you would like to give, Rafia?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Kurat. You kind of opened up my mind in a different dimension with your inputs. It's I think it is much needed as like the way we are sitting and talking, right? I feel we need community, right, and to adapt and not to overwhelm, not to we need people around us who is going through the similar journey, because leadership is a lonely journey. Entrepreneurship could be a lonely journey. Maybe you have a team of hundreds and thousands of people, but nobody can replace you who you are, and that's a different level of responsibility and liability in itself, right? So it is very easy to get overwhelmed. It is very easy to lose the balance. And speaking of which, I have no shame to say that I was one of them. In the beginning, I was like going really fast and I brutally, failed brutally. But I think that's where the empathy comes from. Like when I coach SMEs, uh, I think we have. I'm a millennial. If you know the millennial stories,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Absolutely.
like yes, yes, yes. Like wow.
Too much
So I have
promises from
that
the
kind of, yeah, the
Yeah.
dopamine rush. So in the beginning, it's common to experience all those, but after falling, when uh, I'm like I'm back, and I'm doing well in the best possible way I can. But I learned my lessons. The beauty of failing is, I think, we learn our lessons, and I don't think that I don't think any SME or any entrepreneur who have never failed in life. If there are,
Right.
please come. I would love to know what is your strategy, because I think we all fail. For me, I feel probably I have like 2 to 3 achievements. I have hundreds and thousands of failures,
Correct.
hundreds and thousands of failures, and that's what made me who I am, rather than, and that's what gives me the experience enough to help my clients. I think probably if I have been like in the beginning, I was like going like fast, 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 right, and I was getting everything, like whatever I'm, everything that you touch turns into gold. It was that kind of phase I had, and at the peak of my career, I fell.
Hmm.
So, speaking of which, when it comes to the balance, Ayushi, I think, of course, as Kurat mentioned, right, we need to keep track of our cash. The financial aspects are need to be, and we need professionals at times, like Kurat, and we need someone. Of course, it depends on what stage of your business is at. But at a personal level, because that's my area, probably I can talk at but more of a personal level as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as an SME. That please if it is overwhelming for you, do not hesitate to delegate. You
Right.
cannot be everything and everyone at the same time. If you're
Correct.
trying to be, that's where the overwhelm and even the burnout starts.
Hmm.
I mean, if it makes sense to you, I mean, I personally experienced, and of course, the shiny object syndrome. I'm confidently saying because I was one of them who have been like running behind those shiny stuff, and then again yeah, the same, because if you see, the branding is so easy these days. If you have money, you can create a big name in industry, and when you
Hmm.
actually go and experience the service, I feel like, where is the basics? Where are the basics? Like the
Correct.
basics will be missing, and it's kind of saddening. It's kind of disheartening, like, because if you are a SME, if you are a leadership, it's not only about you and your business. You are representing the business as a whole in the industry,
Correct.
right?
Absolutely.
You're spoiling the market, saying, and you're giving a wrong notion to the people or clients that okay, all the big brand. It's not true. I know some big brand, they actually deliver the value. They are there because they are, but there are few, very few of them who really are, I think, who have values and ethics in place, whose heart and mind is in place as an entrepreneur. But yes, I have experienced that personally, adapting to the technologies. I have seen their bigger branding. When I went there, it was totally a disaster.
I know.
And how can we avoid? Of course, I think common sense, which is not a common practice these days.
Hmm.
Use your common sense. We all have. There is a very strong inner, we have an inner strength, and there is a gut feel. If you're
Hmm.
not familiar, you know how important gut feel is, right? So it is there. Listen to it and delegate. If you feel overwhelmed, if you think that this is not something that you can do, please delegate to someone else.
Hmm.
They need not to be the top notch. Maybe you can find something within under your budget. It will relieve you from to some extent.
Correct. Correct.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and as Kurat mentioned, right, your decision making capability is very important. Your strategy is very important. Whatever strategy that you worked in past, it need not be the same. Now you might need to revamp your, and especially if you are in the beginning of the career, please do not hesitate to start small. Maybe your
Hmm.
aspirations are higher. I think this is some mistake I also did. Maybe you have the higher goals. Of course we can reach, as Kura said, many people are working in silence. You don't even know what is happening inside, right? And you will only know once they achieve, and you see their achievement. Many people see their achievement. And comparison, right? If you really want to compare with people who are really on top, please compare with the efforts that they put into. It's not only what you see at the top. To reach to the top, they needed to go through many ups and downs. Are you comparing yourself? Are you putting yourself in their shoes? And one of the reason of overwhelm is also comparison, that I personally see some of my clients I work with. We get overwhelmed when we see someone, okay, we both started at the same time, by this, why that person is at this level, why I'm here, why I could not catch up. Where this overwhelm comes, because I think probably it's good to get inspired. It's very good to get inspired. Not only get inspired by their achievements at the end, but please get inspired by their efforts. Could you be able to do the same thing? If I wake up at 4 a.m. to get my jobs done, I have family responsibilities, work. Can you also wake up at 4 a.m.?
Hmm. Right.
Can you sacrifice your weekends? Can you sacrifice the special moments with your family, where you really needed to be there? But I think it is all a part of SME's journey. I hope you all are agree, right? We have done something
Very
very,
true.
very much. So overwhelm comes from the comparison. Please don't compare with yourself with someone else. They have a different journey, but of course you can take inspiration. If you, in fact, you can reach out to, right? Like now we are as a part of a community, we are sitting and discuss. Be a part of a community where you need not to carry a facade. You
Hmm.
can let go and you can be vulnerable. I think that releases your vulnerable. That releases the overwhelm to some extent, because you will realize you're not the only one. Thank you, Kurat. You're not the only one who is going through the journey, right? And as Kurat said, many people are going through in silence. We don't even know what are some people are vocal, right? Some people are not. But I think at times being vocal also helps for someone who are in your shoes, who is going through the same pain. Like when you listen to the stories,
Hmm.
I think that kind of relieves that, and you can take advice, you can share insights, you can share ideas. So I think being part of the community, not comparison but inspiration from the people who are like who are at the better level than you. Please take inspiration, not the comparison. And
Absolutely.
so I think, yeah, these are, and delegation is very important. If it is overwhelming for you, probably you're trying to do everything, and you are trying to be everyone at the same time, far, which is for human capacities is impossible. And if you're trying to push through, that's where you will get burnout, even the physical and mental health issues. And people,
Hmm.
I mean, giving up a business, of course, it's the worst thing. But if it is impacting your physical health, that means something is really wrong. Something
Correct.
is going wrong. We cannot get anything at the cost of a physical and mental health. If we are receiving it on the other side by compromising of physical and mental health, I don't think it is worth it. Speaking of someone, I have been to that journey. It affected my mental and physical health at some stage. It was very difficult for me to come out. But now I've learned my lessons. I think I'm a bit matured than being a millennial. I'm a bit matured and experienced compared to where I was. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Delegation, inspiration, and strategy. Yeah, find a right strategy.
That's wonderful. My God, balance of leadership, finance, and motivation. Amazing, you guys. I mean, you both have set a benchmark of this interaction, and it's a kind of challenge to other speakers if they are listening. So, thank you both very much. I had some other set of questions, but you already covered so much information that those questions are already, covered in that canopy. So, nothing to worry here. And I would like to wrap up this session now. And I I'm thrilled and highly motivated with the way you structurally shared the information in pointers, in kind of storytelling, relating it to yourself. So definitely, this is a was one of the most engaging and interesting event that I ever did. So thank you, both of you. I know you might have been on your fast rosa these days. So still, you have that energy, that positivity, that's definitely God's grace. So thank you, both of you, for your time and effort to understand my questions. I know some are baseless, some are very generic, but these are not mine alone. So yeah, anything in the end you want to say to wrap up this session, and then we'll say goodbye to all the audience here present here, starting with you, Rafia.
Okay, I think I have one of my quotes. So now all the life lessons that I learned over 15 years, I turned them into my quotes. I have 25 over
Oh,
quotes now. One of the
wonderful.
one that I share is change your perspectives to turn every change in your life into an opportunity for growth.
Oh, wow, wonderful.
Change your perspectives to turn
Mm-hmm.
every change in your life into an opportunity for growth. Then for sure you can live through the model of 3 C's. What is 3 C's? 3 C's: clarity, clarity to find a direction,
Mm-hmm.
confidence to take action, and courage to stay focused on solution, your bigger picture. So with
Wonderful.
that, thank you so much, Aishi, for giving us this platform. And your questions are not baseless. Please don't think so. They're all quite interesting. I'm sure Kurat also agree with this. Because of these questions, even it's a thought provoking for us also. I learned a lot through the discussion with Kurat. Because my finance knowledge is not that great. So I should
Mm.
say thanks to you too also for inviting Kurat and sharing her valuable insights. And thank you for giving us this opportunity. And thank you everyone who joined me on joined us in through on this LinkedIn platform.
Thank you very much, Kurat. Any last words for us to get motivated? Although we are already high spirited right now.
Thank you so much for having me. Or it was really nice, and Rafia speaks so well. And I also have, I have a page where I share my all thoughts and things in that sort of quotes and wisdom. And actually, I have my names on that. And that is kind of very interesting thing that after living 20, 30 years of work, you actually get of these things. I will not go along go for a lot of things. I'll just try to tell one thing in this regard of internet. We are actually celebrating here the International Women's Day. So I will say that the women have a very sweet spot, or you can say a very vulnerable spot about making the mistakes.
Hmm.
They are always scared of making the mistake, taking the decision. They are worried about being perfect and all those things. So my a general advice will be that please do a lot of mistakes. Never get scared of mistakes. Anyone is judging, it's their problem. Anyone is leaving you, it's their problem. More
Yes.
people will come. Okay, if you are making anything, go ahead, take the decision. Life is there. You will always have the time to come back. I have reconnected to a lot of friends. I have reconnected to a lot of people. So this is totally your word. Enjoy it. Enjoy your journey. As Rafa has said, comparative, you can join at same time, you can still like finish at the starting line, but love it.
Wonderful.
I
I
guess
love it.
I
I
just
love it.
have these words.
So basically, no matter at what stage or what age you are, you can still fail and come back. I love this.
Yes, yes.
Love this. Thank you so
Exactly.
much for that.
Well,
Thank you
it's
so
time to
much for
end the
having me.
session now. Thank you very much. Sorry for interrupting. I've been getting many messages on WhatsApp. People are asking questions. There are many viewers also. Good news, and we have a good engagement. So all credits to two beautiful ladies here. Although we are ending this session now, I would like everyone to follow LinkedIn profiles of both these wonderful ladies. I'll add the link. I've been stalking you both since last, well, 1 week, so you'll see your recent visitors. And I'm highly impressed by your work. Thank you for joining once
Thank you
again.
so much.
And after ending this session, I earned two beautiful friends. We'll see you on the other side.
Yes, yes,
in the
definitely.
in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye
you. Bye
bye.
bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.